And welcome to The Big Show and The Big Show TV. Our guest for this morning is our award-winning psychologist from the therapy room who is back from her travels.
Yes,
she was in Europe, first in England, and then Scotland, and then Sweden, moved on to Madrid, and then went on to Turkey, and now she's back.
I think he kind of got
Dr. Geraldine Tan.
the in-between incorrect, right?
It's
Totally incorrect.
He just brought me around
So where were you again? I forget.
London and then Portugal, Madrid for a pit stop, and then Turkey.
All right. Welcome back, Jerry.
Thank you. I'm glad to be back.
How were your travels? I mean, let's put aside the little hiccup that happened in Madrid, but how was the Christmas holiday as a whole?
It's lovely. I love travels. They give me a lot of time to reflect, to think, to observe. And it doesn't mean that I observe the same thing as other people, but I also observe. But it's very, very reflective.
Oh, nice. Okay.
That's good. You already have 2025 planned, I'm sure. Work-wise as well. I can tell
Don't
you get
tell
inspiration. Inspiration for
Don't tell the
work.
colleagues. Don't tell the colleagues.
Don't tell the colleagues? Okay.
You guys are going to have to work 10 times harder.
So you mentioned reflection.
Yes. Yes.
And is that what we're going to be talking about today?
We are always doing reflecting, isn't it? You know, during our sessions. So it's about new beginnings. But I also was thinking about fairy tale endings. You know, do they really exist? Why do you laugh?
No, it's just that everyone in 2024 went through pain.
A lot of
Yeah.
pain.
A lot of pain.
Strange.
And I'm determined that in 2025, everyone experiences a different type of pain.
Glenn?
Ask me what type of pain.
What type of pain, Glenn?
Champagne.
Oh, I love it. Let's start tonight then. It is New Year's Eve.
Thank you. You see, Angel, you must give me some credit sometimes.
Okay,
Not all negative.
So it's interesting that you said fairy tale endings
Yes,
because I feel
yes.
like nothing ever ends. You know what I mean? Until you die, obviously. Because if you're in a relationship or in a partnership or in a
Yes.
friendship, there is no ending, right? It's
No.
constantly evolving.
Yeah. So what is that fairy tale ending? You know, because everybody chase for it. And especially with the K-drama, oh my goodness, the number of girls have to tell them the guy does not appear with the umbrella at the entrance of some
Riding on a white
building.
horse.
Riding on a white horse is passé.
Oh, it's done already, is it? No longer.
No, it's the guy coming and opening the door or the K-drama style. And
Angel's obviously not Catholic, I think. That's why she
I'm
mentioned
not
that
though.
about death just now. What do you say about death just now? Mentioned.
I said it's not because she was saying, do things have fairy tale endings? I mean, what is an ending? An ending seems so permanent, and it only ends when you die.
No, that's not true. For Catholics, there's purgatory.
No,
and all that.
I also believe in life after death, but I mean, you know what I mean, Glenn. Stop it. Stop splitting. Stop trying to
But I really
sift
want
through
to
my
put
words.
a little pause here.
Yeah.
I want to thank you for giving a shout out to Healing Hearts.
Oh,
Yeah, so last night we had our last session of the year. Yeah, and we are supporting mothers from India, from Singapore, from
Really?
Malaysia,
Oh, wow.
from the UK.
and you do this virtually.
Online, yeah.
Hello, Healing Hearts!
So Healing
We
Hearts
think only Angel can shout out to Healing Hearts. When did you shout out to Healing Hearts?
on Instagram because I saw
Oh.
them share it, and because yesterday being Monday, the last Monday of the year, was their last session for mothers who have lost children to suicide. So I thought it was important to use the platform that I have to send it out to
Yeah.
whoever may be watching or
Thank you
reading.
for
No,
doing
Be
Yes.
strong, ladies. Be strong. Continue to be strong.
must be tough.
Okay. I do believe we have some sexy video to play now.
Yeah, absolutely.
On the Big Show TV. So
Beautiful
stay tuned.
women involved. Yeah.
Stay tuned for that. Meantime, here's Olivia Rodrigo with Obsessed on Kiss 92.
Yeah, but it is about fairy tales, right? And the fairy tales that we know. So these characters are familiar characters.
That we grew up with.
Yes.
At least little
but
girls.
it's going to give you a different...
Pamela Anderson.
No. Characters, not people. like animations, actual fairy tales.
Jenny McCarthy.
No, not those women. Like your Sleeping Beauties, your Ariels from Little Mermaid, your Auroras from Sleeping Beauty. Actual ones.
You say Ariels. Okay.
No, Glenn, stop it.
I was about to say Samantha Fox.
No.
Okay, sorry.
You see the way his mind works.
Okay.
But we know this.
We will play the video
Let's
and
watch the
give
video.
you a different perspective.
Oh, you can't really see it, can you?
Aww. That was Snow White, Belle. This is Jasmine from Aladdin. Ariel, Little Mermaid, right?
Yes.
Aurora. Oh.
Yeah, you can't really see the writing, the text that is there.
Cinderella.
They don't look very happy though. This is Anna from Frozen.
Oh, that's Olaf. I saw Olaf. I love Olaf. Elsa, also from Frozen. Rapunzel. How come my hair is so short?
Yeah.
Rapunzel should have long hair, right?
Rapunzel has long hair. So basically what it was, for example, Snow White. You moved in with 7 random men that you just met. Were you not afraid of that? You are too naive. Those were the words that were there attached to Snow White.
Yeah.
For example, with the next one, Belle. Sweetie, he kept you captive, threatened your father, yet you still love him.
Beauty and the Beast.
That's Stockholm
Yeah,
syndrome.
Stockholm syndrome.
Oh.
Right? So they're just telling you the other. Jasmine from Aladdin. He lied to you from the first days of your acquaintance, but you're still marrying him hoping that he will change.
Ooh.
So if you
No,
look at
red
them.
flag, right?
Absolute red flags. And there's another one, Ariel. You sacrificed your family, your tail, and your voice for someone you barely knew. Do you enjoy sacrificing yourself? Let's talk about people pleasing. So these are basically the princesses on the psychologist's couch.
Yes.
You know, talking to
Yes.
psychologists.
The only one I was not familiar with, and maybe you can enlighten me, is Aurora. Where is she
Aurora
from?
is Sleeping Beauty.
Oh, Sleeping
She is
Beauty.
Sleeping Beauty. So for Aurora, do you like causing yourself pain with the spindle? Do you think you have become addicted to it? How long do you think this has been going on, her addiction to pain?
Oh.
Because she pricked herself on the spindle, right? Pocahontas. So your dad wanted you to marry someone you didn't love. Please go on. This is from the psychologist's point of view,
Right.
so that you get the idea. I mean, there are a few others. That video I thought was very powerful in terms of how much we grew up thinking that these girls were princesses. Right?
Right.
And they are in a certain aspect. But how
Yeah.
much we
And lived happily ever after.
and lived
And
happily
lived
ever after. But
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
when you put it in that perspective, you're like, holy crap. Really? It's true.
It's a different perspective, isn't it?
Snow White was with 7 random dwarfs.
Yeah, but they were just dwarfs.
They could have been 7 random men. They're men still. They're still men. Dwarfs are men, no matter what.
Yeah. It's interesting when you have a different perspective, but fairy tale is a fairy tale, you know. It teaches us, it's like a fable. It teaches us different morals or different values. And then if you put your eye on a different part of the story, it twists the whole story.
Yeah, now I can't unsee all that. I can't watch my fairy tales anymore because of that video.
I've only watched Beauty and the Beast and Aladdin.
And now you're going to see it. This man captured her and threw her up in the tower, right? That's Stockholm
But
syndrome. And she fell for him.
Are we thinking too much?
Overthinking?
No? You know, when it comes to these cartoons.
We don't want
and
to ruin it for anyone
Exactly.
because they're age-old fairy tales, right?
Yeah. But they also have a dark side. So a lot of these childhood
They do.
stories, they do have a dark side. You know, if you think of all the poetry that we've been reading, oh my goodness.
If you
know,
really break it down, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a rockabye baby
Yeah.
on the treetop.
And then
Exactly.
When the bough breaks, the cradle will fall, and down will come baby.
They didn't say the baby cradle. I don't know. They didn't say the baby would break into like 10 pieces.
At least it's alive.
Humpty Dumpty is in
Sat on the wall, yes.
Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses and all the king's men
couldn't put
Humpty back together again. So did he survive?
He's broken. No, he's a fried egg now.
Yeah, he's
He's a fried egg.
Okay, going back on air.
talking about fairy tales.
Then we just
And-
ruined some fairy tales for some people.
And how some fairy tales, nursery rhymes, quite dark.
They are. But it also gives a different perspective, to how we treat things, how we learn things. And that's also fairy tale therapy. So there is such a therapy.
What is it?
So it's supposed to create a special mental space when the child's fantasies become similar to reality and contribute to overcoming fears and complexities, or complexes, actually.
Is it a case of, for those kind of fairy tales, that, as we've proven, that there is also a dark side, is it a case of only seeing what you want to see?
I think the stories themselves were actually dark stories. Yeah, and they were then recreated for the children, for parents or adults to tell the children. But actually, they have another underlying story that we never saw.
Right.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
Cinderella, the original version was that they actually cut off the toes to fit the foot into the shoe. Remember the sisters? The ugly
Yeah.
stepsisters couldn't fit into the shoe.
Right.
But the original one cut off the toes, the other one cut off her heel so that she could fit into the shoe. So it was
Horrible.
quite gross, yeah.
And then remember, there's Hansel and Gretel as well, which
Yes.
had a
Gretel.
little, it was quite dark as well.
Yeah, and
Cooking
Little
children
Match
and
Girl.
Little Match
Do
Girl.
you remember
Yeah.
Little Match Girl? So
And then there are also nursery rhymes that are
Yes.
also dark. So is this the fault of our parents then? Because these are core things that we grew up with.
It's the fault of commercialization.
No.
Yeah,
not
because
necessarily.
the stories were rewritten to sell to parents to tell to their
But
children.
if they had used their brains a little bit, for example, London Bridge is falling down, falling down.
That's like terrorism
as
right there.
adults, right, you should know, hey, something is wrong there somewhere, Let's not get the kids to play this London Bridge game. And what about this? Ding dong bells. Pussy's in the well. Who put her in? Little Johnny Green. Who pulled her out? Little Tommy Stout. What a naughty boy was that to try to drown poor Pussycat. It's
Animal abuse.
It's like Damien Omen.
Yeah, but I think if you put a fun tune to any words, it'll be fun. So nobody really cared about the words. It was more the song, because you can hum it or whistle it as well, and it'll still be fun for the kids. You know what I mean?
Okay, so the therapy part aside, the whole idea of the fairy tale was actually passed down from one generation to another for truth to be told. Because if they tell it as is, nobody would want to tell the story. So then the truth gets lost. So when London Bridge, the whole history of it and why it fell, and for people to continue to remember that piece of
story.
history, yeah. So they put it into a little nursery rhyme, for Little Match Girl, the story about poverty, about family togetherness, about warmth, about how we can get there, or the whole idea of the values or the emotions. They want to teach certain things, and they don't want to get don't want it to get lost.
What about Humpty Dumpty?
I have no idea what was Humpty Dumpty all about.
What was the moral of that? And the little lost sheep and all that, little Bo Peep and everything, So yeah.
So it makes us think, actually, are we doing it blindly? Which is what a lot of people continue to do. So, if fantasy or fairy tales doesn't just mean the fairy tales that we've just mentioned, but it also can mean just blindly going into like this fandom world,
Right.
or the virtual world that the children are going into, which they are not thinking about it. They're just gaming. They're
Blindly
just,
going in,
doing that virtual, world and getting lost. in it.
3 blind mice.
There you go.
3 blind mice. Okay,
See
anyway.
how they run.
Okay, let's continue to talk to Jerry on the Big Show TV. It's 8:20.
But that's exactly why it's called a fairy tale. and a fantasy world and a virtual world. It's not reality. So like Glenn said, are we taking things a little too seriously and overthinking it? Because a fairy tale is just what it's meant to be. It's meant to be a fairy tale.
But what if the fairy tale is not a fairy tale, but meant to tell us something like
Like a moral.
Aesop's fable? You know, it is.
Those had morals. Those had great morals.
Well, everything had. I thought Frozen was a very good show. It's about overcoming anxiety. It's about overcoming, difficulties, challenges, about sisterhood. And the fairy tale therapy does help to reduce the level of anxiety, overcome the different sort of fears. Yeah, it's supposed to do that, right?
But
and
how
to
come it's-
learn how to adapt.
It's all female characters, though. I'm sure, some of the princess also maybe got abused or something.
So I'm sure there's probably a video out there in reverse and showing what the men went through as well.
Yeah.
I just want to see what Anna went through, because you were saying there's a full story about sisterhood and what were your other morals?
About sisterhood, about overcoming fears.
Fear and anxiety, right?
Was it
Elsa.
Elsa?
Elsa and I never watched it, so it was way past my... Okay, Anna. Why did you decide to marry the first guy you dated? Were you not receiving enough love from your parents? Do you think you have abandonment issues? Let's talk about that.
Perhaps, if we think about the show, her parents died very young.
But even that is a bit strange because, not everyone goes out there and has multiple boyfriends before choosing, her husband. There are people who
marry the first person
the
that they
first
meet.
person that they meet, childhood sweethearts or whatever. So just that message alone,
Yep.
or that thought, I feel is, not very appropriate. It's almost like discouraging someone from landing up with that
First person
because it works.
For some people it does, yeah.
So it's really just perspective, right? So someone came and looked at the story and had a different perspective, and brought this issue up. So we take different parts of the story. It's really up to our imagination, and
Our
that's what
perspective.
that's what fairy tales do for us. Give us that ability to be creative, to innovate, to imagine.
So when
To
does
fantasize.
so when does a fairy tale, what elements of fairy tales, or can we take all the elements of fairy tales and everything that we've learned and put it in reality into our own lives?
As in the different elements, the different values, the different emotions. I think values is one, emotions is the other, and to put into the mix that imagination. So you project out, a character or a situation, and you can see it from a third person point of view. You're a little bit more objective rather than being that character as a main character in that story. And sometimes you're too emotional. And you cannot see the ending that you can create. So what I want to emphasize is actually us having that imagination to create the ending
The
that
perfect
we
ending.
want. Yeah, so that we can decide what to do
The
next
steps.
rather than saying I'm helpless
Right.
or I have no ability. Yeah.
What is your fairy tale ending, Glenn?
Well, happily ever after, like everyone. But I realize it's not realistic. Because I've seen with my own eyes, couples who are together for so many years. They've had their kids, they've done it all, and then they divorce when they're in their 70s.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what in the world is that? How, you can't understand that.
Yeah.
Like, why? You should be happy that companionship, at that point your kids are all grown up. Or what in the world do you want to do in your 70s?
But
Creating
then
their own ending.
And there are lots of people that find new partners in their 70s or go on to live on their own because they're happy on their own.
But that kind of blows my mind.
Yeah, no, it does as well. I've seen stories like that. Or what I really love is when people find love so much later in life, in their 70s, their 80s, their 90s, whatever it is, end up marrying, or those that reconnect with their first loves, the one that got away.
Yeah.
And then, start a whole new life, or they end up just being alone and loving it.
But you know that there are people who choose not to get married early, right?
Yeah.
And by the time they get married, maybe they get married in their mid-50s or 60s, and then, they're happy.
Because they're
all the way to
settled,
the end.
right?
Yes.
Because they're so settled and they know what they want. And they probably found someone who is equally settled.
Yeah.
Know what they want. Don't give a crap about what other people
No
think.
distractions.
Nothing.
Perhaps.
Right.
Perhaps everybody has their own endings. Everybody can choose their own endings.
It all comes down to choices once again. Throughout your
Yeah.
entire life. You have to be responsible for your choices.
Either you stay and be unhappy, or you move on and find that happiness.
Yeah.
Right?
So rather than saying what if this and what if that and can I
Go
do
and
this
see it.
and can I do that?
Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pursue it.
And I think if you are in a relationship and you want to do those things, instead of saying, can I, should I, would I, speak to your partners about the things that you want to do. And maybe you never know, because they could surprise you and say, I'm so on board with that, let's do it together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Instead of thinking, oh no, I won't say this because I think.
But I think the problem in many relationships, and that's the reason why it's so hard, and relationships are so hard and love is so painful sometimes, is because they're never on the same page. One person may feel a certain way, but the other person may not. For example, like, oh, should we get a divorce? One person says yes, and the other person says no. And that's when it's difficult.
Yeah.
Because you want it to be as amicable as possible.
course.
You don't want anyone to be more hurt than they already are.
Yeah.
So that's, I guess, the complication in life sometimes.
Of any relationship, I think.
Yeah, of any relationship.
I think marriage just makes it difficult because it's legal. Do you know what I mean? You take that legality away. You're just like, okay, you know what? I'm breaking up. That's it. All done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Love it or hate it. Let's be friends. Let's not be friends. But when it comes to getting married and getting divorced, it's because of that piece of paper. That's all it is.
Yeah.
That complicates everything, I feel, for a lot of people.
But communication
is key.
Yeah, communication in any relationship is important, including friendship, including
Siblings, parenting.
and at work.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Stand by.
And we're looking at the fairy tale as an ideal world. And I'm challenging everyone whether the ideal world can also become the real world. And can we work towards that? So although fairy tale therapy is a little bit of narrative work, I think it's a lot to do with choice theory also. So that another theoretical framework. So ideal world and then real world. And can we bridge that?
I think you can.
So I'm just thinking, out of all the cartoon characters that we showed just now,
Yes.
from
Fairy tale characters.
fairy tale characters from
Sleeping Beauty,
I'm not so much into animation. no.
Cinderella.
Aurora,
Ariel, Pocahontas,
yeah,
Anna,
Rapunzel.
Frozen.
Rapunzel.
Rapunzel.
Yeah.
Who's the sexiest of
Oh
them
my
all?
God.
Oh my goodness.
Which outfit did you like best?
I don't know. I need to see it again.
Oh, right.
Which one has the lowest?
Yeah, exactly. More cleavage, shorter skirt, midriff maybe showing.
The two of you are making me look
Terrible.
very bad.
No, you don't need any help in that department.
Anyways, I have a little challenge for both of you, and
Okay.
maybe Cheyenne and Shalini also can join in. So bringing fantasy into our world, okay? What is your superhero?
Oh, who's our superhero? Huh?
Yes, who's your superhero?
I think my superhero would be Catwoman.
Oh,
The sexy one.
it's the outfit. It's that onesie.
Okay. So as Angel is thinking of hers, why the Catwoman? What strengths?
Mysterious. I like sharp nails. as well.
I hesitate
She
to ask,
fits
but I think
into
I'll have to.
There were
ask.
claws.
What do you like about the sharp nails?
And I like. I'll say scratch.
Don't ask him that.
They scratch me.
Oh my god. Okay.
Scratch my back.
Okay.
Scratch my chest. Are you still asking me?
No.
Okay, stop asking me.
yes,
Stop
yes,
about the
yes,
nails.
yes.
Yeah.
All right, and also because Catwoman is in this
he
really
always
tight
managed-
Catwoman
Always.
suit, right? So you know exactly, what a great bod she has already.
Okay. I think I cannot ask my other questions for you.
It doesn't lead to anything anymore.
Well,
Okay,
Cheyenne has shown us the red card.
Why don't we continue to find out why Catwoman is Glenn's favorite superhero on the Big Show?
Are you
TV?
still thinking about your?
No,
favorite
I've got
superhero?
my superhero already.
Okay. Up
Yeah.
next, Park Wild. This is Fall Into Forever on Kiss 92.
My superwoman would have to be Wonder Woman.
You mean your superhero?
What did I say?
You said your superwoman.
Okay, see, I'm thinking about her. Yeah, my superwoman and superhero is Wonder Woman.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. What strengths do you admire?
She's powerful. She's not overhyped. She doesn't seem
She's very modest.
very modest, humble, yeah, and beautiful and strong.
You're thinking about Linda Carter or
Yes,
Gal Gadot?
Linda Carter.
Linda Carter.
But also Wonder Woman as a character as well.
Yeah.
Oh, our thoughts and prayers go out to Gal Gadot, by the way, because
Her
she
recent
gave birth and
she
then
had an aneurysm or a
Yeah.
clot or something. Yeah, but I think she's okay. It was
I hope
discovered
so.
a couple of months back. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
okay.
Okay.
What else?
Oh, you want to ask the further
lasso,
questions?
the lasso.
The lasso.
I will ask
The lasso and the
you
bracelets.
the question. Then you know why I cannot ask him. The
Okay,
question.
ask me the question.
So, with all these strengths that you admire about her, where would you use this strength? See, now you understand why I cannot ask
Yeah,
him the question, right?
Where's he going to use those nails on?
Oh my God!
And the whip.
Oh, that's right.
the
She
body.
does come yeah, now you're enabling him.
No. I'm not looking that
Where
direction.
would I use those strengths on in every aspect of my life? Every aspect. I mean, I think life has to be lived. I'm not going to say as a woman or a man, but life has to be lived with humility, with strength, with empowerment, and a lot of pride. But not being proud. Just being proud of what you do and who you are, but not be filled with pride.
Okay.
In that sense.
Well, you take over FD's space.
Oh,
here.
okay.
FD will be like that.
yeah.
Down and-
And he will be thinking, but I kind of knew Angel would like this topic.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's
so-
the next one?
Yeah.
Hey, don't
Yeah.
say bad things about me, Angel. You know
said
what?
nothing.
Because I'm telling you, although he's in Melbourne, he's watching right now. He's getting his therapy.
He's got his notebook and everything with him.
Yes.
Aw.
So don't nobody say
Or
anything,
he's
anything
eating
bad.
pie.
Huh?
Or he's eating pie.
He's eating pie and enjoying this therapy session.
Good morning.
Yes. You can do it also, FD.
But damn, I want some of that pie, man.
Oh, you better bring
pie?
back some Australian
Australian
pie.
pie. Pies are the
the
best.
beef
Australian
ones.
pie.
I
Australian
love
pie.
the beef ones. Okay, back to Angel.
Yes.
Back to Angel.
Please.
Where do you think you have used this humbleness, this empowerment, this modesty?
I think more so now that I'm older. Mm-hmm. You know, when I was younger, empowerment, I don't think I had a lot of it. I was fairly low on the self-esteem ladder, you know, even though I was modeling and doing TV and all that. I was, I was
Are you
not
serious?
very confident at all.
So I told her, I said if that time I wasn't attached, I would have tackled her.
And I told him he wasn't my type.
Yes, exactly. I would have what?
Me to call emergency service.
Oh my
It's your
god.
Siri talking.
Siri?
She's calling emergency services.
all the time.
Okay.
Oh,
Whole
you know
morning,
why? Because
Siri.
you said the word tackle. So she probably think you were getting attacked.
Really?
Call emergency
Oh
services.
my god. Did it automatically call?
Call 999 or something.
Okay. Okay. He's looking after me. That's a
Yes,
good thing.
that's true.
But I think as I grew older, got more confident, I was able to use that empowerment to my advantage, I would say, without abusing it. And I feel I've always been humble, but that's not for me to say. You know?
No,
I don't think
where
it's-
do you think you use it?
Where do I think I
Yeah.
can't say where. I think it's in every aspect of my life. But when I have to go back to when, because it only came up later in my life.
Damn,
You
she
know?
could have been Catwoman.
So that little gap that you feel that is still lacking, right? How do you think you can get there?
The gap of what?
The gap, maybe you want a little bit more empowerment, maybe you want to be a bit more humble, or you mentioned about Wonder Woman being powerful, being strong. So are there gaps?
Yeah, I think when it comes to empowerment, I need to find a way to say what I really feel without burying what I want to say to certain people. You know, it could be family, it could be loved ones, it could be friends. I
Okay.
tend to sort of like sweep things under the rug.
How do you want to do that? That's a new year sort of.
I think I've got to think very hard about the words that I want to put down. You know what I mean? Because it's so, I find myself very difficult to talk to. I find myself very difficult to talk to because I tend to jump to conclusions. And I tend to try and cut everybody off and say, look, like, no, I have this opinion and stuff like that. But I don't end up saying the things that I really want.
But that's most of us, you know. So don't
Yeah.
be so hard on yourself.
Right? You just want to you
Yeah.
doesn't say everything, and then you kind of go into defense mode, and you're like, no, I didn't do this, or I didn't say this, or whatever it is. But I want
But
to
you
be
go into defense mode. But
Yeah.
I won't go into
Oh, you
defense
don't?
mode
You go
because
attack.
it was the truth.
You see, but that's the thing. Everybody always thinks they're right. You know, and that's the wrong thing to do.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah, I think right is very relative because everybody is right in their own minds, but you may not be right to someone else.
yeah.
You know, so I think I need to start thinking about things from people's perspective more than my own.
Because sometimes doing the wrong thing is the right thing. I know it sounds strange.
that is true. That is true.
But it's true. But many people they're very upright, very
Yeah.
righteous, right? You must do the right thing
But
to
the
make
wrong-
something right.
But the wrong thing to everybody's stereotypical perception. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
you're doing this, that's wrong. But according to who?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Right? So it may not be wrong. It just could be wrong according to society.
Okay, traffic updates. Stand by.
To Glenn.
Shalini and Cheyenne.
Oh.
Starting on the 6th, because we've asked Cheyenne and Shalini to freshen up the show
Right.
in terms of the
Okay.
sound and all that. I think on a daily basis, I also want to kind of like bring up a dish.
A dish?
You know? Yeah, that maybe, you know, I'll
Breakfast?
tell someone what I'm craving for.
Ooh.
And maybe they can have it for like breakfast or lunch or whatever. Just give them ideas.
Oh,
you know
nice.
what I mean?
Okay. I like that. Every day? I
Every-
love it.
Every day lah.
Every day.
'Cause,
Okay.
you know, I mean, I
then
feel...
you're going to get us hungry as well.
Well,
every day.
maybe. It depends. You know, for me, I feel like these days, right, I need to crave for something before I eat it because I don't want to like put
Just nonsense in your-
crazy
yeah.
calories in my body.
No,
right?
that's
It's
a good
gotta,
way.
It's got to count,
Yeah.
you know?
I've
So,
also stopped like snacking.
Yeah.
Only eat when you're hungry, which is a smart way to go.
Then we can all look like Dr. Geraldine Tan.
Right?
No,
Who is
there we
here
go.
in the studio with us?
Have you seen Jerry in tight jeans?
Oh.
I've
Okay.
never seen myself in tight jeans.
I have a video.
Oh.
Shall I post it?
If only if you
Of
ask Dr. Jerry.
dancing to a Korean tune.
Oh,
That was at the
that's-
anniversary.
Yes, yes,
That was
yes,
the
yes.
anniversary, yeah.
Okay. Let's carry on because very soon we'll have to wrap.
Yes.
Very
according
soon.
to
Yes,
Cheyenne.
yes, yes.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not going to your superhero, but out of curiosity,
Why?
you know, Cheyenne and Shalini's superhero.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
then we'll
girls.
wrap.
Cheyenne and Shalini's superheroes.
Also, our superhero is what we want to be. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if
you want to be Catwoman?
That's why I couldn't continue.
He thought he was like, oh, I thought I wanted to be with Catwoman,
Not
Yeah.
be
Catwoman.
with, but be.
Be Catwoman.
But you realize, when Angel was sharing, right? Many of the traits she already embodies. She might want a little bit more, but but you are, very modest. You've displayed it just now, when you mentioned certain things and you were talking about, no, everybody is right, so I can be right, but, the other person can be right too. So, being modest, being humble, you're not flamboyant or outlandish, but you're very powerful. When you sent out that Instagram text, many people responded, and that's why I wanted to thank you.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yes.
Oh, I'm glad.
You're beautiful, you're strong, and you empower many people.
Okay, I know who I want to be then. Because just now,
Too late already.
you said favorite. So favorite, of course, I'll pick.
A
But
woman.
then
Who do you want to be?
Batman.
I thought you might be Batman.
Yeah. Anyway,
Bruce Wayne, powerful,
I-
handsome, rich, and he's got the Batmobile.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all he wants. That's all. But you were asking the girls though.
Yes, Shalini and Cheyenne.
Who are your superheroes?
Let's start off with Shalini.
Okay, so Cheyenne and I are not the best at superheroes.
You want to be a Teletubby, don't you?
Yes.
I knew it. She wants to be a Teletubby.
No, I'm just kidding. But if I had to pick one,
joking.
Iron Man?
Okay.
Oh, UNFD.
Yeah.
Iron Man.
Okay.
But I cannot go on more because I don't know much.
But you like what he stands for.
Okay, so
Yeah.
superhero doesn't just mean the Marvel superhero. It can mean anybody that you think that you look up to.
Could be a parent as well.
Yes.
Ah.
Yes.
Could be a what?
And a parent.
Oh,
Could be a
I
teacher.
see.
Could be any figure. You didn't qualify that. Shall we start again?
No,
Oh,
no.
we don't have time.
Cheyenne. You
Cheyenne,
got...
you're
Cheyenne's going... No.
Cheyenne? Who's
no
your
time.
superhero, Cheyenne? Oh, she's wow. She's
She's in charge
empowered.
today.
She's in charge.
She's... Okay.
Escaping.
All right.
Yes.
This is where we are checking out of here. So before
She
you
wants
go...
to give some stuff first, though.
Yes. So,
She's got things to give. Oh, superheroes.
Okay. Eggs. Easter eggs.
I cannot end a year talking about fairy tales and not adding a little bit of magic.
Dragon
wow.
3.
So, yes, you all can choose one. I don't know after.
Are these
what's
like blind
here.
boxes?
A bit like, yes. So choose one and then you can do your unboxing later.
Okay, I'm
Okay.
going to choose one of these guys.
I want a boob also.
You want to...
What?
What is a boob?
There? You look. Show everybody.
Yeah, that's
Together.
yours, That's yours. Oh, sorry.
Okay, I'll take this. We'll unbox it very shortly.
I'm taking this one.
Okay, time for
Okay.
Jerry's quote.
Yes, I will try and search for my quote. Where's my quote? Yes, by Aesop. And he says, the level of our success is limited only by our imagination, and no act of kindness, however small, is ever wasted.
Nice.
Love that. Great way to end the year.
Happy New Year, Jerry.
Happy New Year!